All right, hey everybody, welcome back to Hunt Northeast. We got a little invite to the Fireside Chat with First Lite tonight, April 14th, 2020. And me and Mike just got the Zoom app set up on his laptop with the webcam going, test the mics, test the audio, whole 9 yards. We're getting ready to go on at 8 p.m. our time and 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So anyways, 7:35 right now. We're getting everything lined up, ready to go. Kind of dressed up what we got going on in the game room right now. It's not exactly done yet, as you can see. We got some Euros hung up at the top. I just moved the couch over here. I got a bunch of sheds over here. Just threw my bow up. I don't have a hanger for it. And just a bunch of stuff in totes still. The game room's not complete, but at least wanted to throw up a little bit of a background for getting on this little video chat with people we've never met before. So we got some lights set up. They're not professional lights or anything, but we just want to have the cameras rolling while we're rolling with this little meeting here, this fireside chat with First Lite, and let you guys kind of live the experience with how we are right now. So we're just set up and ready to rock with this meeting, and hopefully it goes well, and kind of curious to see how this goes and meet these people. So hope you like it. Stay tuned. So I just got a couple things really. Steve, you touched upon, I want to say thank you first for having me on. You touched upon how you were kind of thrown into it, and I can compare to that. I was out with my father. That was hardcore. It was freezing, driving rain, or cold temperatures where all the older guys are asking us why we're out and saying we're nuts when we're parked at the store getting lunch. And I was thrown into it in a bad way, I guess, but in a good way. It made me a better hunter over the years and progressed me and made me hardcore. But I was always around it, and my dad started me off young with involving me in a lot of coyote and fox trapping, bobcat, beaver, muskrat. We're up here in Maine, and it was big when, 25 years ago when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And, he was big into the fur market, so I got to see a lot of that small caliber, obviously taking on a dog in a trap with a .22 revolver or what have you. I get to see a lot of that life and death, I guess, relationship with small game before I jumped into whitetail hunting. And with that being said, my daughter is going on 3, and from day one, she's been around it. I butcher all my own stuff, and I explained to her, where the steak's coming from, where her chicken comes from, and it's actually coming from a chicken. So she has that correlation with she's eating it. I guess my question is, how over the years have you broke down that actual step of taking a life to your kids throughout the young stages?
Yeah, it's been really funny, and one of the things about it is it winds up being, sometimes seems really arbitrary, man. This almost seems like a joke, but it's dead truth. The most upset I've ever seen any of my kids about something dying. You know what a sea cucumber is?
Yeah.
Okay. Cleaning sea cucumbers. One of my kids had an absolute meltdown when we were diving for sea cucumbers, and then he realized that we were going to cut the sea cucumbers up, which most people can't even identify a sea cucumber as an animal. I don't know what it was. It was just bizarre. I think that it's hard to explain everything to kids. I find, for me, it's hard to explain everything to kids where everything winds up making total sense. We could be eating deer meat, okay? And sitting there actually eating deer meat. And we could have a dead deer hanging in our garage, okay? And I could say we're gonna go out to the dead deer and cut meat off the dead deer and cook it. Maybe check, got it. They'd go do it, right? It wouldn't bother them. If we're sitting there eating that deer and they were to look out the window and see a deer, and you said something like, well, let's go shoot the deer, they'd be like, well, what are you talking about? How could you shoot that deer? It's it's just so inconsistent, and it's they draw so much from the context sometimes that it's hard to even understand. In terms of that, I used to trap fox and trap coyotes. If I was in a situation where, when we always use the euphemism, we would dispatch a fox, not with a gun, but
With the shovel.
Yeah, hit it on the nose and collapse its lungs with your boot. So if I was in a situation now to go do that, if I walked up to do it, I honestly would not know. I'd be like, it's a crapshoot. I don't know how they'll respond to it. It might not matter to them at all. We snared a beaver, and in a snare, like beavers don't usually get killed in snares. So we had a beaver in a snare, and I was like, I wonder how they're going to take this. Totally matter of factly. And I thought this might be the end of it, My wife, on the other hand, the first time she saw us kill a deer, I thought it was going to be the end of our marriage. She's like, I don't need to see you guys shoot a deer. I'm like, you'll never even see the deer. It'll be way off, and you probably won't even know it's there. But then it wound up being my brother shot one about 6 feet away. You can see its eyelashes. And I thought, man, that was a short marriage. We climbed out of it, but it was like, it's shocking to her. So, so after having 3 kids and one of them's 10, and I've been hunting and fishing with them since day one, I still don't know how some things will respond. We have a dog now. I got mad at that dog one day and grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and pulled it. They all about moved out of the house. So I wouldn't have imagined that, like, being that upsetting to them.
Right.
There's just not a ton of consistency, man. But I think a little bit you should, if you know you're getting a lot out of your kid, and they're coming in your direction pretty hard, I don't think you need to cram everything down their throat. Just, you kind of go a little bit touch and go,
Yeah.
Because now and then, like, they're whatever mood they're in or stuff, I do, like, walk up to situations aware that it could be rugged. And one time my brother had these sheep he was raising. This wasn't too long ago, and he had to kill all the sheep. And I kind of thought it out, and then I went and let my kids, I didn't tell them what was going on. I said, hey, you guys want to watch your program in the house? Because I was like, man, if they see their uncle wipe out this whole pasture full of sheep, lambs, like, I don't know how they're going to view that. So maybe I chickened out when I shouldn't have, but in that case, I just kind of ran at my head and decided to save that one for another year.
Yeah, I hear you. She's been around it since day one, and I know I got a little ways to go, but she seems to wrap her head around it. But like any other 3-year-old temperamental child, she has her moments. So I just kind of take it in milestones and keep it around. And she's seen deer dead. I feed them out back, and I get the trail cameras going. I check them with her. That way she can keep that consistency even in the off season, and hopefully it rolls out good from here. But yeah, I was just really curious on, obviously you've had your kids around it forever.
Oh yeah.
So
and I think it's funny too when you sit back and look at it, is like, they got to think that we're all over the map too, I mean, right. Why is it that we have this one animal that lives in our house and we'd all take a bullet for it, yet other animals, we eat them at dinner time? They get that there's like a complex web of relationships going on here.
Yeah.
And it's not all logical, right?
Right. Alrighty. Well, thank you for your time. I'll let these other guys get in here and ask away. Kind of hard to get out what you're thinking, especially on the spot. There's a few other people in there, and I was trying to get my words, and I just couldn't get it, and I didn't have anything written down. I felt like my attention should be fully on the screen instead of typing something or looking away from something or looking like I was on my phone, which I had to do a little bit. I had to swap camera batteries over, and luckily I had the backup camera running, so hopefully I got the rest of it on that. With that being said, wicked cool experience. As soon as I heard her say that it was definitely an expert in the outdoors, I had a feeling it was going to be Steve Rinella. The guy is a wealth of knowledge. If you guys haven't checked him out, check out the show Meat Eater, quality stuff. And then you got Mark Kenyon. He recently joined. He runs the Wired to Hunt podcast. He's also been on Drury Outdoors. 100% Wild podcast, I want to say. I used to watch that when he was on it. Kind of faded off a little bit because I liked to see what he had to say when he was in there. But hope you guys like it. Got to climb on board the experience a little bit and check it out. But it is now 10 past 9, and it is time to get out of this, put everything away, and sign off for the night. So pretty cool being able to see somebody on TV and then talk to them one-on-one, even though I couldn't get my words out. So thanks for tuning in again at Hunt Northeast, and we'll be bringing some more content to you guys soon.